Now, what are the signs that somebody's addicted to these substances? Number one is lack of control of the intake of the substance. When you don't have control. Now, this message is for people that we are going to share to. Hallelujah. The lack control of the intake of the substance. Like you can decide not to say, I'm not drinking Coke again, and then you will stop. As a matter of fact, in the olden days, are you hearing this history lesson? When Coke was made originally, there is caffeine, there is cocaine inside Coke originally. The government had to regulate Coke to take cocaine, not caffeine, no, real cocaine outside Coke. That was why when people take Coke in the olden days, they were addictive to Coke. Till then, there is caffeine in Coke. There are people are addicted to Coke. There are many people that are actually addicted to Coke because of caffeine. Caffeine is the same thing in tobacco. So when you take a lot of Coke, you can have an effect of addiction. So if you lack control, like you cannot control your intake of Coke again, at that moment you're not addicted to alcohol, you're addicted to Coke. It's a sad but true reality. There are people that take Coke as addicts. So when you cannot control the intake of any substance, there are people that are addicted to bees. I had a story from Apostle Arume. He said there was a lady to were preaching to, and then she woke up and said, I've not ate beans today, and then she was angry until she ate beans. She's not normal. True life story. I heard it from Apostle Arume years ago. Any substance you don't have control over the intake of it, you are addicted to it. But for our context, we are talking about smoking, drugs, and alcohol. That there are people that are already addicted to paracetamol, Panadol, addicted to it. They cannot sleep without taking it. You know, drug abuse, when we mention drug abuse, some people think about it like one special drug. They are normal drugs that people use them abnormally. Example is the drugs that people use for cough syrups, right? People use it to get high. What other drug? There are many normal drugs that people use. Either they burn it. Most of them are normal drugs. And then they discover that when you take a 500 milligram of a normal headache drugs, it will produce this effect on you. So they begin to abuse it, especially among Hausas and among the educated, because you can go to a motor park and see a Hausa pharmacist with his store selling drugs. And I used to wonder years ago, what is this guy selling? And people be patronized. I was thinking some people have the gift to heal natural sickness, but I later got to understand that maybe it was actually drug abuse. They know which drug and which drug you will mix and you'll be high. So drug abuse is talking about the abnormal use of a normal drug. And then smoking is actually smoking. I've explained before there are different levels of cigarette. Cigarette has like 20% of tobacco. There is what we call cigar. Cigar has like 70% of tobacco. I can't remember the percentage. That's what we call Tosca for men. Tosca for men has like 80 to 90%. People that smoke Tosca don't live up to 40 years. 100% tobacco. They call it Tosca for men. Hallelujah. So we have weed, we have Aspen, we have Don Morris, not all their names. Actually, medically, weed is healthier than cigarette. Medically, when the person smoke weed and you blow it to a white hanky, and you smoke a cigarette and blow it to a white hanky, cigarette will be black on the hanky, white weed will be normal. So that weed get you higher and you run mad on weed on time. But cigarette affect your heart and your lungs. Yeah, it doesn't affect that's why you see people high on most time is weed. Cigarette doesn't make you mad, but it affect your lungs and your heart faster than weed. Hallelujah. So when you cannot control the substance again, so I'm preaching to somebody listening to this message and arguing with me. Try to stop taking that substance. If you cannot stop, then you are addicted to it. It's as simple as that. Number two, what I'm talking about signs you are addicted to that substance is what we call withdrawal symptoms after an attempt to stop taking that thing. There are what we call withdrawal symptoms. When people take out, I was in the bank on Monday, and then one guy came, and then in 1 second I knew he was an addict. Like, but okay, just like it was, behavior was strange. There were people that take cocaine, when they attempt withdrawing, their body began to react. It's what we call withdrawal symptoms. Because your body is looking for that thing, looking for it. Like, it psychologically, your brain has adopted. If you look scans of people that are addicted, they have a part of their brain that has changed to that substance. So you have what we call withdrawal symptom. People that take drugs, some of them sweat, some of them they become violent. Attempt stopping it. When you have that substance, it tells you are addicted. I'm talking to people that will be arguing with me as I listen to this message. Withdrawal symptoms. Are we together? Number 3, when you can go any length to consume that substance, it means you are addicted to it. If you can steal to take alcohol, if you can beg, you can tarnish your image, there are people that have sold their house, sold their car to take alcohol, to smoke. There are people that have sold their assets just to be able to gamble. There are people that can go any length to take alcohol. Some people will sell their bodies. Some people will do anything to smoke. When you can go any length for anything, you are addicted to it. Some people will give their phones. Hallelujah. That is why most of them, it's difficult to maintain one phone for long. Difficult. Because one day they can go to the bar, there's no money. Barman, and anybody 7K with a phone that is 50,000 naira. They will sell it for 7,000 naira. And when you see them, they hardly maintain a phone for long. They can do anything just to take that substance because they're desperate for it. One day I was with somebody preaching to him in the morning. He said, let him go and take his morning glory. I don't understand what they meant by morning glory. I saw the guy yesterday. Morning glory was weed. That's what we call morning devotion, morning glory. They call it morning glory. Before he eats, he smokes. Yeah, people like that. Yeah, alcoholics don't eat much. Actually, if you eat yam, it may take 16 hours to digest. When you take alcohol and you eat yam, it may take 24 hours to digest. That is why they have pot belly. They have a lot of fat in their stomach. Alcohol slows down digestions. Yeah. It's a fact of science. When you take it slows down a food that should digest in 1 hour will digest in 4 hours. That is why, and they eat it with meat and suya, and then it slows down the digestion. That is why a lot of fat is stored. That is why after a while they have stomach fat, they have pot belly. The pot belly is not necessarily because of the alcohol, because of the fat that have been stored in their body. So when you can anything, you can go any length to have it, because you need to create that satisfaction you get from it. You are addicted to that substance. And then finally, number 4 sign of you are being addicted is what you cannot consume publicly or secretly, and you do it habitually. It means you are addicted to that substance. Like, you are not proud of eating that thing publicly, you are doing it privately and habitually. Few people boast out. That is why few people boast out about their drinking habit. Many people try to hide it. Few people smoke. When somebody starts smoking on the road publicly, that means something has gone wrong, or the person is a non-entity. I don't understand me. Yeah. Even people that smoke in their house, they smoke away from their children. They smoke away from their wives.